Dear brothers, I talked to you in the last few weeks. We were talking about connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. And we know who we are, and we talked about who we are, but to be able to connect with Him, we need to know who He is. And Allah Azza wa Jal didn't leave that up to our imagination. He has given us all the information we need. So we need to connect with Him. We started by talking about His name, the Creator, the Fashioner, Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari, Al-Musawwir. And we talked about this is the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. Show us what other people have created and compare and see the difference, right? Even from the tiniest, subhanAllah, virus or insect or anything on this world, right? And then we moved on to talk about Malik al-Mulk in the last khutbah. Malik al-Mulk. We talked how He owns everything. We claim that we own stuff. We are obsessed of owning stuff. Well, we realize that actually it's all for Allah Azza wa Jal. It belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal, and we are entrusted with it for the time being. And we talked about Him being the king. And we said, kings usually, they die and they lose, and then another king would come in. And a king would never be a king unless if a king before him has died. But Allah Azza wa Jal, kingship is eternal. We talked about the limits of every king. Every kingdom has its king, but a different kingdom will have a different king. But who is the king of all these kings? And we said, subhanAllah, what we get with this, talking to Allah Azza wa Jal, we care only what He thinks. Why do we care what other people think, right? And instead of saying, I earn, I deserve, and we say, you gave, Ya Allah. You gave us. You were generous to us. So we thank Allah Azza wa Jal. We know the source of all of this. You walk on earth humbly. You are bowing gratefully, knowing that Allah Azza wa Jal gave you everything. And what did you do to deserve all of this? Why do we feel that entitled, that we are deserving of our eyes, of our kids? And if we miss something of them, it's like, why would you do that to me? Astaghfirullah al-Azim. We say, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To Allah belong, He gave me those, and to Him they will return. So we walk humbly, we bow gratefully, and we serve truthfully. Subhanallah, we care only what He thinks. But how about the other people, right? Remember, أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي هُوَ جُنْدٌ لَكُمْ. Who is your army? Who is going to help you? Who is going to give you the strength if He takes it away from you? أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي يَرْزُقُكُمْ. Who is the one who's going to provide for you if He takes His provision away from you? Who can do that? But then you say, we're going to move now to the name of Allah Azza wa Jal, Al-Muhaymen. 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 The dominator, the controller of everything. You're going to say, but I see the kings of this world, they actually control the whole world. One man can hold a pen and decide all the fates. With a single order, he can grant life. With another, he can bring death. With one decree, he fills tables with food. With some sanctions he can apply, he would starve millions and millions. What can we do in front of this? It's clearly our provision is in His hand, right? This human king. It feels like they hold all the power. But we got to remember, who gave them the ability to breathe? Who gave them the ability to speak? Or gave them the ink that they put in their pens? Who can stop them? Al-Muhaymen. Al-Muhaymen. Allah Azza wa Jal is the king of the kings, whose kingship can never be challenged, cannot be conquered, whose provision no one can withhold. أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَصْبَحَ مَاؤُكُمْ غَوْرًا فَمَنْ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. If He takes the water away from us, who can bring us water to this earth? So, He neglects nothing and no one. He never sleeps, He never forgets. Allah Azza wa Jal says in Surah Ibrahim, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ غَافِلًا عَمَّا يَعْمَلُ الظَّالِمُونَ إِنَّمَا يُؤَخِّرُهُم لِيَوْمٍ تَشْخَصُ فِيهِ الْأَبْصَارُ مُهْطِعِينَ مُقْنِعِي رُؤُوسِهِمْ لَا يَرْتَدُّ إِلَيْهِمْ طَرْفُهُمْ وَأَفْئِدَتُهُمْ هَوَاءٌ. And do not think, O Prophet, that He ends tyrannies with a heartbeat, with a flood, with an earthquake, with the virus unseen. Remember that virus that changed the whole world? Little virus. We can't even see with our own naked eyes. With a storm. He can send a storm and you see now we need billions. We think we control this earth? Just remember what happens every now and then when that storm hits in the south. He gives respite to the oppressor. He gives them time to repent. Or they can use that time to expand in arrogance. But when their term is sealed, when His command descends, no power can avert it. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. For every nation, there is a term. When their time comes, they can neither delay it by a moment nor advance it. They cannot. We have seen that over and over and over. Go to Egypt, visit all these pyramids and stuff. Where are these people? It's gone, right? A few months ago, Assad, I can control. They used to catch people and tell them, say, there is no God but Assad. Within a few days, subhanAllah, after the patience, after Allah gave them all the time to fix what they were doing, after the believers stood patient, and they raised their hands to Allah saying, Malna ghirak ya Allah. We have no one but you, O Allah. And they stayed patient. A lot of people gave up. A lot of people actually said, you know what? We lost. We lost. We can't do it anymore. They went and they did amends with the oppressive regime. In the last few months, by the way, a lot of people came back and said, you know what? We were mistaken. We want peace with you, and you can step on our heads again. SubhanAllah. Until that, everybody became clear who was a hypocrite and who was truthful and patient at that time, within a few days. SubhanAllah, they were erased. Pictures were everywhere. You go walk in a street, his pictures were everywhere. It's like a God everywhere. Now, his picture is in one place. So when you step out of the airport, you step on it and you walk. SubhanAllah, well, I was with a taxi driver. And when he's driving, he's like freaking out. He's like, I feel they're going to come from the mountain. They used to stop us in the street. I have people with me in the car. They tell them, come out. They take 2 guys and they send the rest. And these 2 guys are gone. Nobody knows where they are. He's like, when I drive, I feel at any moment. I'm like, nobody. It's done. His word was be, and it was. Nobody believed it. It's like, what's going on here? This thing is never going to go away in 50, 60 years. They won. SubhanAllah. So, Al-Muhaymen. That's Al-Muhaymen. The one whose watchful command surrounds every rule, every decree, every breath. There are moments in life when no one sees what you're carrying, not your silent fatigue. All these questions that come to you. When you hear your doctor saying, you know what? This disease is incurable. Or when you hear, this thing is impossible. At that time, just raise your hands to Allah Azza wa Jal with full trust that, the laws of physics, chemistry, laws, which we think they are unbreakable, are all subject to His will. He is not bound by the rules of creation. He is the one who wrote them. To Him, every force of nature bends. To Him, He says, be, and the stars obey. The oceans rise or fall. That's Allah Azza wa Jal Al-Muhaymen. So when these kings make a decree, there were people supposed to be executed that day, just for their political opinion. They were like lined in lines to be executed the next morning. Be ready, it's your last day on earth. They were ready. SubhanAllah, they prayed to Allah Azza wa Jal, and the next day, they just found the doors open and people telling them to get out. And they're like, what's going on? I'm supposed to die today. No, you didn't. You're saved by His will, by His command, by be. Healing descends. Seas part. Remember when Musa and the Israelites were captured? We're done. Pharaoh is in front of us and the sea is behind us. And they're like, Inna lamudrakun. We're going to be caught. It's done. And Musa, who knows Allah Azza wa Jal, right? Remember when he told them, I am afraid when I go to Fir'aun, he will. And Allah tells them, I'm with you. قَالَ لَا تَخَافَا. He said, do not be afraid. I'm with you. I see and I hear. لَا تَخَافَا إِنِّي مَعَكُمَا أَسْمَعُ وَأَرَى. So Moses have witnessed Allah Azza wa Jal. And he said, no. كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعْيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. No, I have Allah Azza wa Jal with me. He will save us. He will guide us. And then he turns and he follows the command of Allah Azza wa Jal with a stick. The whole sea departs and they walk safely, and Fir'aun, subhanAllah, drowns. That tyrant doesn't know how to swim. He drowns. Subhanallah. So that's Al-Muhaymen. Remember when they said, you know what? Let's throw Ibrahim in the fire. And the fire usually burns. It's hot and it kills. And Allah Azza wa Jal just says one command. Ya nar, kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Oh fire, instead of being hot, be cool. Instead of causing death, be safety, haven for Ibrahim. So the name of Allah Azza wa Jal Al-Muhaymen is not just about surveillance. It's about divine shelter. It's about sovereign protection. It's about majestic preservation. So remember when you see all the injustice that you see on TV. Remember that. SubhanAllah, you see people are being bombarded from everywhere. And then they say, Ya Allah, with full trust in His wisdom, in His decree. And wallahi, the victory will come, whether we witness it or not. You're not asked, you are not, Allah Azza wa Jalla is not going to ask you, why didn't you cause the victory? Because He causes that. Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to tell you, what was your role when you watched that life? What did you do? That's going to be what we're going to be asked about. But the victory, we know what's going to happen. They want to turn off the nur, the light of Allah Azza wa Jalla. They want to turn it off, right? But they can't. The more they do it, the more it spreads. Subhanallah. That's Al-Muhaymen. Al-Muhaymen protects. Remember, subhanallah, when Allah Azza wa Jalla sent the Quran, His words, Muhaymina. Allah Azza wa Jalla sent the Torah, they changed it. They sent the Injil, revealed to Sayyidina Isa, alayhi salam, and they changed, and they added, and they took away, and then Allah Azza wa Jalla sent the Quran, Muhayminan alayhi. Guards it. It guards with the truth in it. It takes away all the batil they inserted in those scriptures. Muhayminan dominates it, subhanallah. And that's what Allah orders Sayyidina Muhammad to judge by it, inshaAllah, bima unzila ilayk. Sayyidina Yunus, trapped in the layers of darkness, the darkness of the sea, the darkness of the whale, the darkness of the night. Do you remember his call? It was not like, I'm done, I'm over. His call was, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Who knows? He knows who commands the sea, who commands the whale, who commands the day and light. So he calls upon Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah Azza wa Jal saves him. فَاشْتَبَاهُ رَبُّهُ. So that's Allah. His word is Al-Muhaymen. Allah Azza wa Jal is a king who is Al-Muhaymen. Again, these trials is to shape us, to see how we would react. أَمْ حَسِبْتُمْ أَن تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةِ. You think you will get to paradise without being tested? وَلَمَّا يَعْلَمِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنكُمْ. So that's Allah Azza wa Jal Muhaymen. So that's the description of this king, the Almighty King, the King of the Kings.